There we go. All right, and then we're gonna get started. Most of the class will be seated. We are gonna use our weights. And at the very end, if there's time, we'll do some standing up stuff. So we are gonna start sitting up nice and tall in our chairs here, stretching out our necks to begin with. Let's turn our heads, look over the right shoulder. And now we'll turn to look over the left shoulder. Let's turn to look back over the right. And now over the left. And now we'll turn to look over that right shoulder and we'll hold it here for 3, 2, 1. And now turning to look over the left shoulder and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Looking straight ahead. Let's tuck our chin now down towards the chest. And then we'll look up to the ceiling out in front of us. Let's take our chin back down towards the chest. And then we'll look up to the ceiling out in front. Now we'll take our chin down towards the chest and we'll hold it here for 3, 2, 1. And then looking up to the ceiling out in front and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Looking straight ahead now, keeping the shoulders down. We'll tilt that right ear over towards the right shoulder. And now we'll take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Right ear comes back over to the right. And left ear now to the left. Now we'll take that right ear over to the right shoulder and we're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1. And now the left ear comes over to our left shoulder and we'll hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Head can come back up to the center. Let's roll our shoulders forward. Nice big circles. Starting to loosen up the upper body. Good. Maybe a little stiffer after the weekend if you haven't done much. And then we're going to alternate right and then left shoulder going forward. And now starting to take those elbows up and over. And then we'll start to extend those arms out, working up towards full extension. Now from here, you could either keep the shoulders square or rotate slightly through the torso to loosen the body up a bit more. It's up to you. See what feels good today. And then our arms can come down and we're going to switch directions. We'll roll our shoulders backwards together, nice big circles. And then we'll alternate. Let's go right and then left shoulder going backwards, bringing more muscles around the rib cage. Starting to take the elbows up and over now. And then let's extend those arms out, working up towards full extension. And that may look a little different for everyone. And then our arms can come down. So loosening up our wrists, we're going to work our brains a little bit at the same time. We're going to take our right hand down beside our leg, and our left arm's actually going to reach up above our head. Now we're going to circle our wrists here. As we circle, we're going to bring that left arm down and that right arm up, basically just trading places. And once we get to the top and bottom, we're going to switch directions with our wrist. And then again, switching positions with those arms. Right arm coming down, left arm going up. And when we're at the top, wrist can stay still, circling only our thumbs now. Thumbs alone, and then we're bringing that left arm down, right arm back up. Good, and once you get to the opposite ends, we're gonna switch direction with our thumbs and switch those arms once again. Good, so just making that brain work at the same time. Now that we're at the top and bottom, we're gonna squeeze our hands closed and then open wide. Squeeze and open, and then again, we're switching positions. Right arm up, left arm comes down. Good. And then once you're at the top and bottom, we're going to continue with this movement, just switching positions one last time. Last time we're doing this. Good. And then once we're at the top and bottom, we can just bring the arms back, and we're just going to touch each fingertip to our thumb. Just a little bit of coordination work for those fingers. And then we can just wiggle all the fingers. And our hands can come down Just loosening up our ankles here. We're going to take our feet out in front, legs stay still, circling those ankles as big as you can. And then let's circle the ankles the opposite direction. And now pointing the toes, and then we'll flex. Point, flex, point, flex. We'll point, flex, and point, flex. Let's wiggle our feet side to side. And then our feet can come down. So we'll get into the little bit of a cardio warm up here. You can stay seated in your chair or you could stand up, entirely up to you. I will offer options for both. Once you get to where you want to be, you can get into a regular march. So just marching in place. This can be a big march, a small march. It could be fast, it could be slow. It's up to you, but keep in mind, we're just warming up, so we're not going too vigorous here. We're just trying to get our heart rate up a little bit, blood pump into those muscles, loosening things up. All right, now let's make this a little bit bigger. So we're gonna squeeze our knee up towards the chest a little bit more. Let's try and keep our posture nice and tall. If you're standing, I want you to even think of pressing down through that standing leg to really engage those pelvic stabilizers. And then if you want to go a little bit further, we can bring opposite wrist across towards the knee, or if you're really flexible, you could think of going elbow, but don't hurt yourself trying to do that. We're just having the two sides of the body work together. Couple more seconds here, and then we're going to come back to our regular march. All right, now we're just going to tap one heel and then the other out in front. So if you're standing, you can decide how far you want to sink down through that supporting leg. Now we can also reach opposite arm up and out in front. Looks the same if you're seated. One foot and then the other, heel tapping in front. Good. Let's think of really reaching that heel if we can. And we're going to come back to a regular march. A little rest here. And then we're going to add a little bit of more lateral or side movement here. We're going to tap one heel and then the other off to the side. And again, let's reach that opposite arm up and away. So now we're opening to the side a little bit more here. If you're standing, you could sink down a little bit more or stay really tall. It's up to you. Seated, it looks the same. We're gonna go a little bit longer here. And you can adjust the pace, you can adjust the size of the movement. It's up to you. Now let's bring it back to our regular march. All right, we're gonna open things up a little bit more with the next one. So we're gonna step one foot and then the other to the side. Arms can open and close. If you're standing, you're actually shifting your weight out. If you wanna go a bit further, you can sink down through both knees. Try and sink evenly. If you are sinking down though, think more of a squat than a lunge. But staying tall is perfectly okay. Let's keep those shoulders relaxed down away from the ears. We don't want to bring any tension into our neck. And let's bring it back to our regular march. All right, in just over 5 seconds, we're going to try and lengthen the back of the leg with a kick. We're going to bring our knee up and then kick in front. Knee up and kick. Think of pressing the heel forward. Standing, folks, I want you to make sure that core is engaged and your body is staying upright, nice and tall. Seated, I want you to think of crown of the head reaching to the ceiling. We want to squeeze the thigh muscles and lengthen the back of the leg as much as we can here. We're kind of stretching the hamstrings a bit. And then we can come back to our regular march. We're almost through this part. You're getting there. All right, let's now march up on our tiptoes. So trying to keep those heels up off the floor. If you are seated in your chair, to make sure you get a good contraction with the calf, I want you to think of squeezing the calf muscle or the muscle down the back of the lower leg. Good. And now we're gonna switch, marching on our heels. So trying to keep those toes up off the floor, thinking of squeezing those shin muscles that run down the fronts of the legs. I always have to look before I sit down. I swear one day I'm gonna sit down and miss the chair on screen. And let's go back to our regular march. And now let's start to slow this march down here a bit. Just letting that heart rate calm down. And our feet can come to a standstill. If you can, we're gonna do a couple of standing strength exercises here. So the first one is actually very controlled. We're gonna stand with our feet about hip width distance apart. You can hang on to the chair if you need to. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press up onto our toes, but we're gonna come down slow as I count down 3, 2, and 1, we hit the ground. So let's do that 5 times. We're gonna press up onto the toes, come down slow for 3, 2, 1. And again, pressing up, coming down for 3, 2, 1. Let's press it up, coming down slowly for 3, 2, 1. Pressing up, come down slowly for 3, 2, 1. Let's go once more like this, pressing up, come down slowly for 3, 2, 1. Good. Now just shifting up our foot placement. So we're gonna bring our feet a little wider apart, angle the toes outwards. Again, holding onto the chair if you need. We're gonna do the same thing, just in this slightly different position. We're gonna press up onto our toes and come down slowly for 3, 2, 1. And again, pressing up, come down slowly for 3, 2, 1. Let's press it up, down nice and slow for 3, 2, 1. 2 more here. We're gonna press it up, come down nice and slow. 3, 2, 1. And once more, let's press it up, come down slow for 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's bring our feet now back to about hip width distance apart underneath us. So standing folks, we're gonna do the squat series. So we're gonna go down into your version of a squat. So whether that's a mini squat, a full squat is entirely up to you. I want you to press evenly between the center of your heel, the big toe joint, and where your little toe attaches, and make sure your knees stay straight. We're gonna squat, come up, lift one leg, squat up the other leg. If you are seated, your option. When standing folks are standing up, you're gonna have your feet up in front. When we squat down, you're gonna bend your knees. When we stand up, extend them back out, take the leg to the side, bring it in, squat, up, leg to the side, in. There's a lot of control involved there. So let's do 30 seconds at your own pace of this one. I'm gonna move back. Oh, my head's not cut off. And here we go. Let's squat, come up, take one leg out, bring it down, squat, up, other leg, control it down. Squat, coming up, squeeze, squat, coming up, squeeze. Good. You want to feel the muscles on the outside of the hip and thigh. Squeeze that leg up. And of course, controlling it the whole way back down. Good. Almost there. Let's go one more. Up, squeeze, and down. We can take a little rest while we transition. So now we're going to extend out behind. Instead of going to the side, our leg's going to come out behind us. We're extending from the hip. If you're feeling any strain in your low back, I want you to come behind your chair, have your hands rest on the back of the chair, hinge forward slightly, and extend from there for a little bit of extra support. If you are seated, yours will look like legs in front. We're going to squat, come up, and then instead of extending behind, we're going to lift that leg up in front. All right, we're going to go 30 seconds at your own pace, or you can follow my pacing. Here we go. We're going to squat, come up, extend, squat, up, extend, making sure those feet come back to that hip width distance or slightly wider underneath you, that they're nice and parallel. Our knees are staying square as we sink down, and we're squeezing the back of our hip or our glute to bring that leg out behind. Almost there. Let's do one more. Squeeze, and then we can take a rest. So our final one before we sit down, we're going to do this one all together because it has a balance component to it. So I want you to be slow and very controlled. If you're standing, I'm just going to do the 2 demos before we start. We're going to squat, come up, lift the right leg for 2, 3, squat, up, lift the left leg. You can't balance on one foot. You can come do a kickstand for 2, 3. I want you to press down through the standing leg and engage your core. If you are seated, it's almost the exact same. We're going to squat, come up, and then we're going to lift the knee, 2, 3. So a little more core and hip flexor work. Here we go. Let's do our squat. Come up, lift the right knee for 2, 3, bring it down. Squat, up, left knee, 2, 3, and down. Squat. Coming up with the right knee for 2, 3, squat, up with the left knee, 2, 3. Let's squat. Come up with the right knee, 2, 3, squat, up with the left knee, 2, 3, squat. Let's bring up the right knee, 2, 3, squat, up with the left knee, 2, 3. We got one more round. Let's squat, come up with the right knee, 2, 3, and then let's squat and come up with the left knee, 2, 3. You can bring that foot down. We can have a seat in our chairs and get into some of our range of motion exercises. And I hear quite often people say, I can't do squats. I won't do squats. They're terrible for me. But when you think of your everyday life, you have to do squats to function. You sit down on your couch, you stand up off your couch. That's a squat. Sit down into your dining room table chair. Sitting down, standing up, that's a squat. On and off of the toilet, that's a squat. This is a motion that we need to be able to maintain to do everyday life. So as much as our knees, our bodies may not like them, it is very important to maintain that strength and range of motion. All right, we're going to bring our feet now about chair width distance apart. We're going to do our floor reaches, so going as far as you can safely go. Let's keep our hip bones planted to the chair. We're going to take our right hand, reach down towards the floor on the outside of that right foot. We'll come up to center, and then both hands come down in the middle, and we'll sit up tall. Left hand now reaches down towards the floor on the outside of that left foot. We'll sit up tall, and then both hands reach down in the middle again, and we'll sit up tall. Let's hold each position now. Right hand comes down to the right, and we're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Coming up to center. Both hands come down in the middle, and we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and up tall. Left hand now comes down towards the floor on the outside of the left foot, and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1, and up tall. Last one of these, both hands coming down in the middle, and we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and up tall. We'll keep our feet where they are, arms coming out to the sides. We're going to reach across now. So we'll take our right hand, reach across towards that left foot, shin or knee. We'll come up to center. And then our left hand reaches to that right foot, shin or knee, and center. Right hand reaches across to that left side and center. Left hand reaches to that right side and center. Now let's hold. We'll take that right hand across to that left side and hold it here for 3, 2, 1, and up to center. And now our left hand reaches across to our right side, and we're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1, and we'll come up to center. Arms can come down, legs can come back in. We're going to move on to our balance airplane next. So many of you have done this one before. Quick recap though. We're going to do 4 rounds. First round, we're going to have both of our feet on the floor. We'll lean right, we'll lean left. Round 2, we'll keep our right foot on the floor, left foot up, lean right, lean left. Then we'll switch, right, left. And the final round, which you may need to be a little bit farther back for, both legs come up, we lean right, we lean left. Keep both hip bones firmly planted on the chair, and then your core will do the rest to keep you balanced. Let's take those arms out, and here we go. With both feet on the floor, we're going to take that right hand down, left hand reaches up, coming up to center. Then our left hand goes down, right hand reaches up. And center, keeping that right foot down, left foot comes up, and right hand reaches down, left hand reaches up, and center. Left hand goes down, right hand reaches up, and center. Switching legs now. Left foot down, right foot up. Right hand goes down, left hand goes up, and center. Left hand down, right hand goes up, and center. Last round. This is the hardest one. Both legs come up. Keep those hip bones firmly planted. As that right hand goes down, left hand goes up, and center. And our left hand goes down, right hand goes up, and center. Arms and legs can come down. All right, a couple core exercises here before we move on to the weights. So depending on how strong your core is or how your back feels, you have some options. So I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see a little bit better. The easiest option for these, you will be all the way back in your chair so that your back is supported by the backrest. And your feet will be up. The first one, we're going to flutter. For more of a challenge, you can scoot forward in your chair a little bit, or you could go all the way to the front, leaning back, not quite touching the backrest, feet up, and flutter from there. The farther forward you are, the less support you have for your legs, the harder your core is going to have to work. So you can choose where you want to be. Let's pull the belly button into the spine, scoop the pelvis under. I'm going to count down from 10. You could go fast, you could go slow, and then you get a little rest. So here we go. Let's take those legs up. We're going to flutter for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and our legs can come down. Round 2, we're going to do a scissors. So your body position options are the same. This time, your legs will open. We're going to cross one, open, cross the other. Again, I'm going to count down from 10. You could go faster, you could go slower, but let's make sure we're pulling that belly button in, scooping the pelvis under, and if there's any pain in the low back, drop the legs down, take a break. Here we go, taking those legs up, and let's open and cross for 10, 9, 8, 7, make sure you're breathing, 6, 5, shoulders are relaxed down, 4, 3, 2, 1, and legs can come in and down. We have one more round, almost like we're putting the two moves we just did together into one, almost. This time it's a little bit more control. We're going to take the legs up, we're going to go heel to toe, but I want you nice and controlled, so don't flail those legs around, fully in control as we alternate heel to toe. Again, I'm going to count down from 10. You can go at your own pace. Here we go. Legs are up, and we're going to tap heel to toe for 10, 9, 8, 7. Pull the belly button in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Legs can come down. All right, we're going to grab both of our weights. We're going to do a series of weight exercises alternating between upper and lower body. Of course, you have the option to drop the weight if you need some of the exercises. You could choose to do with one weight. It's up to you. Listen to what your body's telling you. You know what's going on with it the best. So the first exercise we're going to do is our lat raise. So we're going to have our hands to the sides, palms are facing in. I want you to think of your posture being nice and tall here. So we want to make sure we're not rounding forward, but we're pulling those shoulders down and back, crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. That's going to help keep strain out of our spine. From here, we're going to keep the shoulders down, but lift those weights up to shoulder level and then lower them back down with control. We're going to go 30 seconds at your own pace, so you can adjust the tempo based on whether your weights are heavy, whether they're light, or how you're feeling. So we'll get started here in just a couple seconds. Here we go. Weights come up, and then we control them down. We exhale as we raise, inhale as we lower. Weights only have to come up to shoulder level. We don't have to go any higher than that. Now, if you're noticing this one, you can't use as much weight as you do on some of the other exercises. That is completely normal. This range of motion, we're not using the big, strong muscles. We're using smaller muscles. Almost there. Let's get one more rep in. Inhale as we lower. Weights can come in. We're going to bring one weight or both weights onto our right knee. Now from here, we're going to lift that knee up, and then we're going to bring it almost all the way back down. So not all the way if we can help it. If you do need to touch it down, that's fine. 30 seconds with this leg. Here we go. We're going to bring the knee up and then almost all the way back down. Good. We want to exhale as we lift, inhale as we lower. Now remember, if you need, you can use only one weight on this exercise. You could go down to no weights. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. If you feel like it's not quite challenging enough, try and get that knee even higher. You're almost there. A couple more seconds, and then we're going to switch sides. That leg comes down, switching to the left knee. Same thing, here we go, bringing the leg up and down. Now, as we're lifting this knee up and lowering it almost all the way back down, again, we want our posture to stay nice and tall. Shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. If you're noticing you got a stiff, sore neck after your workouts, it may be because you're shrugging those shoulders and holding the tension in the neck and shoulders while you're doing it. Almost there. A few more seconds. So close. And that leg can come down. Weights can come back into our hands. So now we're going to go into a front raise. Shoulders again are staying down and back. Crown of the head reaches tall. We're going to keep our palms facing in as we lift those weights straight up in front and then lowering down. So we exhale, lift in front, inhale down. 30 seconds at your own pace. Really want you to think of that posture staying tall. Don't let those shoulders round forward. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Good. Shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. We're almost there. And last one. Good. And now we can take the weights down onto our right side. Closer to the knee is going to make it harder. Closer to the hip will be a little bit easier. So this one, we're only going to do 20 seconds each leg. It's pretty challenging. The higher you hold the knee, the harder it will be. So we're actually starting with our knee up. Now from here, without letting that knee drop, we're going to extend the leg as straight as we can and bend it in without dropping the knee down. 20 seconds, here we go. Extend and bend. And the higher you hold the knee, the harder it is, because we're also using the hamstring as resistance. 10 more seconds. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Keep that knee up. Last one. That leg can come down. Let's switch the weight over to our left knee. And here we go. Bringing that knee up. We're going to extend and bend. Get it as straight as you can and bend it in. Again, still keeping that posture nice and tall. If it's too easy, hold that knee higher. If it's too hard, drop the knee down a little bit lower. Almost there. And that leg can come down. Bringing the weights back into our hands. Just going into a hammer curl now. So again, weights are starting at the sides. Palms are in. Shoulders stay down and back. And then we're just going to hinge at the elbow as we curl up and then lower it down. So all that's happening is a hinge at the elbow for 30 seconds. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lower. And make sure you're controlling it as you lower it back down. We don't want to just let the weights drop. We want to be in full control. Good. You're over halfway now. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lower. Think crown of the head, reaching tall. Almost there. And weights can come in. All right, going to a straight leg raise now. So weights come back onto that thigh. We're going to extend that right leg out nice and straight here now. So I want you to flex the toe back towards your body. It's going to help engage the muscles that support the knee. And then keeping that leg as straight as you can, we're going to lift it straight up and then lower it down. We're going to exhale, lift, inhale, lower. And we'll just do this for another 20 seconds. Trying to keep that leg as straight as you can, squeezing it up and lowering it down. Good, we're almost there. Let's go once more here. And then that leg can come in and we're gonna switch sides. So weight onto that left thigh. Let's extend the leg out, nice and straight, flexing the toe back towards your body. And here we go. We're gonna lift it straight up and then down. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Remember, you can drop down to one weight or no weights if you need to. Try and keep our posture nice and tall. Got 10 more seconds here. Try and keep that leg straight. Almost there. Let's go once more. And down, we can bring that leg in. Weights come back into our hands. So now a bicep curl. So we're gonna have our hands at the sides, but the palms are forward. So we're just shifting where we're targeting this one by changing the way our hands are positioned. Now we're gonna curl up and down, keeping our palms forward and then up as we curl. 30 seconds here. Exhale as you curl, inhale as you lower, nice and controlled. Good. Crown of the head reaching nice and tall. Got 15 more seconds. Good. Exhale, curl it up. Inhale, lower. 5 seconds left here. And last one. You can take the weight back onto our right thigh. So we're going to do our stepping up and over exercise here next. This one, sometimes I do it standing for balance. Sometimes I do it seated for more of a strength range of motion exercise. When we add weights to the thigh, it makes it even more challenging. So with that right foot, we're going to try and step this leg up and over out to the side as high as we can, and then up and over. Let's bring it back. 30 seconds at your own pace. Here we go with the right foot up and over, coming back. Good. This is one of my favorite functional movements for maintaining strength and range of motion. This mimics the activity of getting in and out of the shower, in and out of the bathtub, in and out of a vehicle, which is often an exercise or a movement that becomes difficult as we get older. 5 more seconds. So if we keep doing it with resistance, hopefully it'll never be a problem. And at the center, we can stop and we'll switch legs. And then we're gonna do the same thing, left leg as high as we can, up and over out to the side, up and over, coming back. And just at your own pace here, try and get it as high as you can. Really hoping my internet is holding in. I keep getting your connection is unstable messages. Good, we're over halfway here now. Keep going, try and get it as high as you can. Almost there. Let's do one more if you can. And then back to center. And then we're gonna take the weights back into our hands. So we're gonna do one more here where I'm gonna give you the option. You could stay seated or you could stand up for this one because it's gonna bring some of our stabilizers into it a bit. So we're gonna alternate sides. The movement is the same whether you're seated or standing. So we're going to go one side, hammer curl, overhead press, down, down, other side, hammer, press, down, down. So whether you're standing or seated, it looks the exact same, but by alternating sides and shifting where the weight is, either beside or above us, we're challenging our center of gravity a little bit more. I'll stand up. I've been seated the whole time. A little bit of a different demo. So for 30 seconds here, if you're standing, I want your feet about hip width distance apart, slight bend in the knees. We're going to start in about 2 or 3 seconds. And here we go. So it's a hammer curl, press, bring it down, down, and then the other side, the same thing. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to try and keep your body nice and square and stable. So your shoulders are staying level. We're not leaning from one side to the other. Good. Core is engaged. Our posture is strong and tall. And just finish off the other side. And then we can stop in the center here. We're going to put our weights to the side. We have a little bit of time to do some balance stuff. So if you can, we're going to stand up behind our chairs and do 1 or 2 balance movements. So let's do kind of a basic one, one that you'll see very commonly in most balance classes. So our tandem stance or our tightrope walk, we're going to do it standing still, and then we're going to add just a little bit of movement. So we're going to take our right heel in front of our left toe, just like we're about to walk on a tightrope. And I want you to hold on as lightly as you can to your chair. So if your balance is a little bit off, you can always step that foot out to the side widthwise for a little bit wider base of support. In terms of whether you're like this holding on or like this not holding on, I'd rather see this because you're working on the systems of your own body, whereas you're using something outside of yourself to aid with balance when you're holding on. So as much as you can, try to let go of the chair, but make sure you're safe. We're going to hold this position, challenge our balance for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to keep your feet where they are. We're going to shift our weight now. So we're going to rock our weight forward onto our front foot, and then we're going to shift back onto our back foot. We're going to rock forward and then come back. We'll rock forward and back. Let's do 2 more each direction. We'll rock forward and then back and forward and back. Good. We'll step out and switch which foot is in the lead. So now our left heel comes in front of the right toe. Whichever one you did, just do the opposite. Again, if you need to step it out widthwise for a little bit wider base of support, go right ahead. We're going to start by holding this position. Use your chair or support as little as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now again, we're going to shift our weight. So let's rock our weight forward onto our front foot, and then we'll rock back to our back foot. We'll rock forward and then back. Let's go forward and back. 2 more each direction. Forward and back, and then forward and back. Good. And we can step out of that. We're running out of time, so we'll have a seat in our chairs. We can do just a quick stretch and cool down to finish off. We're going to start with our hamstring stretch. So we're going to take our right heel onto the floor out in front, flexing the toe back. We want this leg fairly straight, but if it's too much of a stretch, just bend the knee a little bit. Then we're going to hinge it forward from our hips, reaching towards the toe, feeling a stretch along the back of this leg, and we'll hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll come up out of that. Let's bring that leg in. Left heel now onto the floor, flexing the toe back. And again, we're going to hinge it forward from the hips. Let's reach towards the toe, feeling a stretch along the back of this leg, and we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll come up out of that. That leg can come in. So now we're going to take our right leg, either hanging on behind the thigh or interlacing on the shin just below the knee. It's up to you. If you have bad knees, I recommend behind the thigh. And we're going to pull the leg in towards ourselves, stretching the hip while we circle that ankle going one direction. Again, you can pull from behind the thigh. And then we'll circle it the opposite direction. Good. And then let's just point the toe and flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point, flex. Wiggle the foot side to side. And then we can release that foot down. Other side, again, either interlacing the shin on the shin below the knee or behind the thigh, but we're going to pull that leg in towards ourselves while we circle that ankle going one direction. And then we can circle it the opposite direction. And then let's just point our toes and flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point, flex. And we can release that leg down. Take our arms out nice and wide here. We're going to cross them over, grab opposite shoulder, get a nice tight grip, give yourself a squeeze. And while you're squeezing, we'll take a deep breath in, feeling the upper back open up, and then we'll exhale it out. Noticing which arm's on top, we'll unwind, and let's cross the opposite arm on top. Again, a nice tight grip, give yourself a squeeze. We'll take a deep breath in, and then we'll exhale it out. We'll release the arms down. Let's roll the shoulders forward. And then we'll roll the shoulders backwards. And then our shoulders can stay still. Let's stretch out our necks once more here. We'll turn our heads, look over that right shoulder, and we're going to hold it here for 3, 2, 1, and over the left shoulder, and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Looking straight ahead, we'll tuck our chin down towards the chest for 3, 2, 1. Looking up to the ceiling, out in front for 3, 2, 1. Looking straight ahead, right ear tilts to our right shoulder for 3, 2, 1. And our left ear now comes to the left shoulder, and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. We'll take our head up to the center, finishing with one deep breath, hands to the sides. Let's sweep the arms up as we take a deep inhale in. And then we'll exhale, squeeze it all out. And we'll leave it at that for today. Well done. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day, everyone.